What if I told you that almost every building, every machine, every car, every phone you have ever touched exists because of this tiny tool, the screwdriver? A tool so simple, so overlooked, yet without it, modern civilization as we know it would literally fall apart. Today we are going 500 years back in time to uncover the wild, surprising, and absolutely fascinating history of the screwdriver. Let's build. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the tools, techniques, and history that built our world. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We drop new construction history every single week. Now, let's get into it. Most people assume the screwdriver is a modern invention. Wrong. Dead wrong. The earliest documented screwdriver dates back to somewhere between 1475 and 1490, found in a medieval manuscript called the Housebook of Wolfegg Castle in Germany. That is over 500 years ago. Back then, screws were not used to build houses or furniture. They were used for something far cooler, medieval armor. Knights needed screws to secure their breastplates and helmets before jousting tournaments. And something had to drive those screws in. Enter the screwdriver, or as the Germans called it, the Schraubendreher. Try saying that 3 times fast. These early screwdrivers had pear-shaped wooden handles and flat metal tips. Simple, brutal, effective. But here is the problem. Making screws by hand was incredibly slow and expensive. A single craftsman could only make a few dozen screws per day. So screwdrivers stayed rare, specialized tools for nearly 300 years. Everything changed in 1760 when 2 English brothers, Job and William Wyatt, patented a screw-making machine that could mass-produce screws for the very first time in history. Suddenly, screws were everywhere, and so was the need for screwdrivers. Fast forward to the 1800s. The Industrial Revolution is exploding across Europe and America. Factories are replacing craftsmen, machines are replacing hands, and suddenly, the screwdriver is everywhere. By 1850, automatic screw machines made tapered wood screws cheap enough for every carpenter, every factory worker, every home builder to use. The screwdriver was no longer a specialty tool, it was a necessity. But there was still a massive problem. The original screwdriver had a flat, slotted tip. And if you have ever used one of those old flathead screwdrivers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It slips, it strips, it flies off the screw and scratches everything around it. Assembly line workers absolutely hated it. The solution came from Canada, of all places. In 1908, a man named Peter Limburner Robertson invented the square drive screw. His screwdriver had a square socket tip that locked into the screw head perfectly. No more slipping, no more stripping, no more frustration. It was an instant hit in Canadian factories. Ford Motor Company even tried it and reported saving an entire day of production time per car. 1 full day per car. That is how bad the old flathead really was. But Robertson made one critical mistake. He refused to license his invention to anyone. He did not want others profiting from his idea. So American manufacturers went looking for an alternative. They found it in the 1930s, thanks to a man named Henry Phillips. Here is the wild part. Henry Phillips did not actually invent the cross-shaped screw. A man named John Thompson invented it first, but could not sell it to anyone. Phillips bought the patent, improved the design, and went all in on marketing. The Phillips screw had a clever feature. The driver was designed to slip out when over-tightened. On a manual screwdriver, that sounds terrible, But on a fast-moving assembly line with power tools, it was genius. It prevented stripped screws from jamming up the entire production line. General Motors adopted it in 1937. Then every American automaker followed, then aircraft manufacturers, then electronics companies. By World War II, the Phillips screwdriver was the standard across all of American industry, and it is still the most common screwdriver type on Earth today, nearly 90 years later. Not bad for a guy who did not even invent it. For most of its 500-year history, the screwdriver was purely a hand tool. But in the 20th century, everything changed again. The first electric screwdrivers appeared in the 1930s. Heavy, corded industrial machines used in factories only. By the 1960s, they were small enough for construction workers to carry on site, and in 1961, Black & Decker released the first cordless electric drill driver, powered by a self-contained nickel-cadmium battery pack. The world would never build the same way again. Today's cordless screwdrivers and impact drivers are almost science fiction compared to that medieval knight tightening his armor by hand. We are talking brushless motors, intelligent torque control, Bluetooth connectivity, built-in LED lights and gyros. Now, if you are looking to upgrade your toolkit in 2026, here are my top picks at every budget level. For professionals, the Milwaukee M12 Fuel Impact Driver. Compact, insanely powerful, best-in-class battery life. Worth every single penny. For DIY home builders, the DeWalt 20-volt Max Cordless Drill Combo Kit. Reliable, versatile, and great for everything from furniture assembly to full home renovation. For beginners, the TacLife Cordless Screwdriver. Affordable, lightweight, and rechargeable via USB. The perfect starter tool. All three are linked in the description below. Clicking those links supports this channel at absolutely zero extra cost to you, and I genuinely use and recommend every single one. From a medieval German manuscript to smart cordless power tools, the screwdriver has quietly been holding our world together for over 500 years. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow more than you know. Subscribe for weekly deep dives into the tools and history that built our civilization. And drop a comment below, Flathead, Phillips or Torx. Which side are you on? I will see you in the next one. Keep building.